Coming up, OU researchers try to solve a toxic puzzle. Drug overdose deaths drop dramatically, and OU steps up to stop domestic violence. This is OU Nightly. The Attorney General calls it an epidemic, domestic violence in Oklahoma.
And the numbers bear that out in alarming detail. Each week, Oklahoma City police receive at least 120 domestic violence phone reports. 33% of all police calls statewide are related to domestic violence. 41% of all Oklahoma homicides are domestic violence related. 1/3 of all women murdered are killed by their husbands. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the OU Women's Outreach Center has events lined up throughout the month to raise understanding about this issue. Melanie Adams, the Assistant Director of Gender-Based Violence Prevention, says students are able to participate in numerous campus activities that focus on the issue.
The event this week is the 1 in 3 movie screening that will be showing in Meacham Auditorium tomorrow night, 7 to 9 p.m. And what's really special about that event is the director of that movie is a graduate of OU, so we're really excited to have her here.
By LaGuaria Davis, 1 in 3 is a movie based on Davis's real-life struggles with domestic violence. For more information about this film or other events relating to Domestic Violence Awareness Month, visit OU Women's Outreach Center or 1 in 3's Facebook page.
And by the way, a change is coming for the OU Women's Outreach Center. In an effort to include OU's LGBTQ community, OU Women's Outreach will change its name to Gender Inequality Center. Along with the new name, the new services may also be added.
Prescription drug overdose deaths in Oklahoma are at their lowest level in 8 years. State Health Department data shows a 5% decrease in accidental prescription drug overdoses from 2013 to 2014. Over the past few years, Oklahoma has been among the highest in abuse and deaths from painkillers, tying Kentucky for third most painkillers prescribed in 2012. Officials say the state's monitoring program is a key resource in fighting drug abuse. The program tracks all Schedule 2, 3, 4, and 5 prescriptions that include painkillers like hydrocodone and oxycodone.
More than 100 people got together at Food and Shelter Incorporated on Sunday for the annual Crop Walk. The event is a community-based effort aimed at helping area residents overcome poverty. The Norman area faith groups, businesses, and organizations of all sorts are committed to raising awareness about the impact hunger and poverty have on the community.
This year we're celebrating the 31st Crop Walk here in Norman, and I think that the fact that it has continued on and grown every year is a testament to the generous spirit of this community and of the people who live and work here.
And along with the walk, balloons, face painting, and t-shirts were provided to the volunteers. They also collected food such as peanut butter and tuna fish for needy families. And you know, Ashley, it was quite a beautiful weekend out there for that crop walk, and I bet it's even better for the fall harvest that's been going on as well.
I hope so. I think we're going to be seeing a little bit warmer temperatures, hopefully, possibly. What can you tell us, Sawyer?
Yeah, that's right, guys. So we do have some nice average temperatures for right now and this time of year. That will be changing as we go on into next week. Now, looking at our visible satellite outside right now, you can see some clouds off to our west. Those will build into our area as we go into later parts of this week, bringing with it some showers and thunderstorms. More on that in just a little bit. The story right now, though, is the dry conditions outside. We have 5 counties up in northeast Oklahoma: Pawnee, Osage, Washington, Nowata, and Craig counties, all under red flag warning. So dry conditions are all across this state. Now, looking at our current temps outside right now, 76 here in Norman, 77 in Oklahoma City, so mid to upper 70s across the entire state, with the high spot being 81 up in Guymon. Now, coming up in weather, I'll let you know about these average temps and how long they're going to stay with us. I'll have more on that fire danger and the potential for rain later this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sawyer. The case of a Tulsa County sheriff shooting an unarmed man has had a large impact on county taxpayers. On Sunday, the Tulsa World reported the county has spent $143,000 in legal fees for Reserve Deputy Robert Bates. The fees went to the cost of conducting the grand jury inquiry, an outside agency to review the sheriff's office, and Sheriff Stanley Glanz's effort to block the grand jury investigation. Glanz then resigned after being indicted by the grand jury.
And OU Nightly's Annie Durbin joins us now in the News Center with the latest on how corporations plan to battle climate change. Annie?
Yeah, Tyler, the White House today announced commitments from companies pledging to fight climate change. 81 corporations, including Apple, Walmart, and Coca-Cola, are locking into what is called the American Business Act on climate change. They plan to cut emissions by as much as half and increase clean energy use. This all comes as the U.S. prepares for the upcoming World Climate Conference in Paris on November 30th. A vault designed to protect vital crops in global catastrophes is being tapped into earlier than expected. Buried in a deep Arctic mountain, the Doomsday Vault contains a seed of just about every crop in the world. However, Syria is asking to withdraw some of its seed samples because of the country's civil war. The seeds will be safely replanted in Lebanon, and another vault will be built in Morocco. And if you get a drone for Christmas, you are likely going to have to let the federal government know about it. Today, the U.S. Department of Transportation announced it will require many of the increasingly popular unmanned aircraft to be registered. All of this prompted by reports of interference with manned aircraft at wildfire operations, sporting events, and other locations. The government hopes to get the rules in place before this Christmas season. That's what's happening around the world. Now back to the OU Nightly News Desk.
Thank you, Annie.
After being deployed for 9 months to Afghanistan, about 30 soldiers have returned to Fort Sill Base in Lawton. At Saturday's ceremony, 7 soldiers met their babies for the first time. Alongside the soldiers was retired Sergeant Kenny Sullins from the Oklahoma National Guard, who volunteered to work on high-mobility artillery rocket system launchers.
And for the 22nd time, the Oklahoma Honor Flights are headed to Washington, D.C. The flights carry Oklahoma veterans who served in World War II, the Korean War, and Vietnam to visit memorials built in honor of their service. A send-off event open to the public is planned for tomorrow evening at 6:30 at the Reed Conference Center in Midwest City. And still ahead on OU Nightly, the city of Norman tries to solve the inevitable problem of too much water.
And Earth Report examines a low-tech solution to a terrible problem. Welcome back to OU Nightly. There's a lot of talk about drought returning to Oklahoma, but the city of Norman is focusing on stormwater, water treatment, and long-term water supply. Norman will soon update its stormwater management program so that it complies with state water standards. The state might have to borrow money to pay for those upgrades. To pay off the loan, residents could see an increase in their water rates.
And Jennifer Sellers is here now with the Earth Report. And Jennifer, I understand that there are some people here at OU that are trying to do something about make an impact in Tar Creek.
Yeah, Tyler. Last week on Earth Report, we showed you the devastating effects mining has had on the northeastern Oklahoma town of Pitcher. This week, I sat down with OU scientists who are battling to prevent another ecological disaster in the nearby town of Commerce. Mickey Mantle put this place on the map. But now Commerce is getting attention for a whole different reason. The baseball legend's hometown has been reeling from the effects of mining for over 3 decades. Just 6 miles away is Pitcher, a town declared uninhabitable due to health risks from the mining. Down the road, 2,500 people are still living in Commerce. After the mining companies moved out in the 70s, the underground tunnels filled up with water.
We call that sometimes acid mine water. These waters actually, based on the geology, aren't really acid, but they have lots of metals in them. And they spill out to the surface, flow down into local receiving streams, and cause significant ecological degradation.
Once the metals hit the air, they begin to rust, turning the water a bright orange color. The town's drinking water comes from a deeper and unaffected aquifer. But wildlife is not so fortunate.
We're having some
technical difficulties, but you know, it's pretty cool. Basically, the rest of that package explained how OU researchers are doing a lot of work. They set up ponds. The water goes through this process, and it comes out in the much cleaner in the streams. And so the fish are coming back, and it's made a lot of progress. And so it's pretty cool. It's 3.5 hours away, but OU students are involved, and like I said, they made a lot of progress. So it's very promising and pretty cool.
I'm definitely glad to see that OU students are getting involved with this program and helping out in town of Pitcher.
Especially because water is so important and so vital to everything, including the fish that you were talking about earlier and the different species that are coming into the water because of the program.
He even said that in these streams, there's new fish they didn't see before, and somehow there's more numbers, more diversity, so it's really making big steps forward.
We're glad to hear that. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
And now, starting November 1st, drivers can be charged a $100 fine for texting and driving. The law states that drivers are no longer allowed to write, send, or read a message if their vehicle is in motion. A few exceptions to the law allow the use of Bluetooth and hands-free technology, as well as a GPS. And still ahead on OU Nightly, everyday heroes are embattled with opponents of their own caliber.
And Joe Puma is standing by with the weather.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Beautiful skies across the campus right now. That will change as we go on into later parts of this week. I'll have more on that coming up. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Now, looking across the campus right now, you can see Sarkey's Energy Center. Got some high clouds above the sky. Overall, it's been a really nice day in store. Now, that will be changing as we go on into parts of next week. Now, looking at our current conditions across Norman right now, 76 degrees. Those south-southwest winds are blowing around 15 to 20 miles per hour, currently at 17, and our humidity is at 24%. Now, looking at our overnight lows for tonight, 59 here in Norman and 61 up in Oklahoma City. So we're going to see mid-50s to lower 60s across the entire state as we go on throughout the overnight hours. Afternoon highs for tomorrow will be in the low 80s. We may see some mid to upper 80s up in the northern parts of the state near Woodward. Enid at 81, Tulsa at 78, and then here in Norman at 80 degrees. Now, as we look at the predictor, not much going on across the region. Now, this is right now. You see, we do have a dry line off to the west. This will move into our area, but it won't bring any rain with it, unfortunately. 77 degrees here in Oklahoma City, 76 up in Tulsa. Now, as we look at 7:15 in the morning, that you can see that dry line making its way into the Panhandle by just a little bit. 62 in Oklahoma City and 61 in Tulsa. Now, as we go for tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m. when you're traveling home, 80 degrees in Oklahoma City and 81 in Tulsa with that dry line still out to our west, and a low pressure system up to our north that is bringing in some warmer temperatures up in Kansas, 86 in Dodge City, so pretty warm up there. Now, we've talked about the drought, and this is going to compare. This is our drought as of 1 month ago. You can see we did have some dry and moderate conditions in the south. Now, if you look at it right now, you can see how it has really changed over just a period of 1 month. We do have some extreme drought that is trying to make its way into the southeastern part of the state, and you can see that it's creeping up more and more into Oklahoma, but we will get a little bit of relief from that coming up at the end of this week. Speaking of fire danger, we do expect a high fire danger for tomorrow into Wednesday. Get a little bit of a break on Thursday, and then Friday a high fire danger, and that's right around when that rain should be coming through the area, and that'll lower us just to a moderate chance for some fire danger. Now, looking at our forecast, this is for Wednesday morning. You see out to our west the showers and thunderstorms building near Amarillo. We expect them to form in a squall line and then move towards our area. Thursday night into Friday is when our main chance for precip should happen. And then you can see that it's starting to form a little bit more, and then Thursday morning that squall line is really prominent out to the west, and like I said, this will move to our area. Models right now are disagreeing a little bit. We do see the chance for a few inches here in Norman, so that will help out with the drought some. Now, looking at our 7-day forecast, you can see 79 for a high today, 80 degrees on Tuesday, and as we go into Wednesday and Thursday, a slight chance for some precipitation, and then 50% chance as we go on into Thursday and Friday. Temperatures in the lower 70s as we go on into the weekend. And then the sun does come back out Sunday with lower temperatures at 67. So overall nice, a little bit of rain in the forecast, help that drought out a little bit.
Definitely. I'm always looking forward to some rain. Whenever I think of colder temperatures, I always think of some rain coming in, especially in October. And earlier I called you Joe Puma. Sorry about that, Sawyer. We usually have Joe on our Monday nights, but we have Sawyer with us today, so thank you very much.
Filling in for Joe. There's a weather conference going on here in Oklahoma City that a bunch of meteorology majors are at, so it's nice for them to get out and network a little bit.
Great.
Hopefully you get to go out there and interact with them.
Hopefully
as well.
I will be seeing them after we get done here.
Glad to hear it.
Thank you
so much, Sawyer.
And Hunter McKee is here with a look at what's coming up in sports. Hunter?
Thanks, Ashley. The Sooners make quick work of the Wildcats of Manhattan, and a former OU star makes his NFL debut. Next in sports. Welcome back. The Sooners simply, you could say, destroyed the Kansas State Wildcats on Saturday. A huge bounce-back win after the disappointing loss from last week. OU started fast and never let up, even though the airport dampened on their travel plans. The first drive of the game, Baker Mayfield finds Sterling Shepard on an out route, and Shepard makes one guy miss and runs in the end zone for the Sooners' first score. That makes it 7-0. Then Mayfield, who had 5 scoring tosses, finds Dede Westbrook with a nice touch pass in the corner of the end zone to make it 28-0. And to make it worse, to start the second half, Kansas State backup quarterback Cody Cook throws it right to Zach Sanchez for the pick six. Sooners win 55-0, and Coach Bob Stoops talks about the 8-hour delay.
Feeding the players until they were full, and then the staff was able to, everyone else, pick at it after they were done. And, but the players were having fun with each other, a lot of fellowship, us with them. There was a group of them in the conference room having not a dance party, but they got their music going, and they're rapping with it and going to town. And so, everybody just stayed positive.
If you need more to quench your OU athletics thirst, be sure to watch Sooner Sports Pad tonight. Let's head over to Studio D and check in with Haley Huey for a preview. Haley?
Yes, Hunter, we do have plenty to talk about tonight on Sooner Sports Pad, and we have a pair of returning guests to help us out. OU quarterback Baker Mayfield and his roommate fullback Jackson Yules were our first guests of the year back on September 21st. Tonight, they'll pay us another visit on the brink of Baker facing his old team, Texas Tech, this week. Last time, Baker left on the possibility of showing us some dance moves.
Reveal your answer.
Wow. Showing anybody.
You have
Who knows? I might be cooking something up pretty soon here. We'll see. I don't know.
And that's not all. In addition to Baker and Jackson, we'll go one-on-one with Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, Zach Sanchez, plus a feature on Sooners rowing program. They have a new facility and a new attitude. We're on both Fox Sports Oklahoma and Fox College Sports Central tonight. And of course, you can check us after the show, right after OU Nightly here on OU TV tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Hunter?
Thanks, Haley. And yesterday, former OU quarterback Landry Jones came in for an injured Michael Vick and led the Pittsburgh Steelers to a big win against the Arizona Cardinals. We'll start things off here in the third quarter when Jones steps up and finds Martavis Bryant for the 8-yard score in the corner of the end zone. And then Jones finds Bryant again, but this time makes a man miss and sprints for the 88-yard score. Jones 8 of 12 for 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. And last night, the Patriots took on the Colts in a rematch of the Deflategate game. Things started off pretty normal. Tom Brady throwing to Rob Gronkowski for their first score. Brady with 3 touchdowns, but then things got weird. The Colts attempted a fake punt in an odd formation that pretty much went nowhere. Pats win 34-27. What a very odd formation that was. Have you guys ever seen that before?
I've seen a little bit of football, but I've definitely never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that in all my days, ever. Well, thank you so much, Hunter.
Still to come on OU Nightly, firefighters show off their skills in Alabama.
Stratton at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Thousands of people surged from Serbia to Croatia today as they continue their mission to reach the European Union. The migrants are now bound for Slovenia. An Oklahoma Watch reports that nearly 2/3 of cash seizures by Oklahoma police involve blacks, Hispanics, and other minorities. Critics say this might mean police are profiling the drivers who are ultimately searched or whose money is seized. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Allie. Firefighters from all over the world are in Alabama this week for the World Firefighter Combat Challenge. Competitors climb 5 flights of stairs while carrying full bunker gear weighing more than 80 pounds. And another part of the race requires them to drag a 175-pound mannequin. And this year's Combat Challenge is in Montgomery, Alabama, where the local male relay team holds a current world record. And Ashley, I hear that you have some history with this Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I do. My dad in 2004 was a world title holder of the Firefighter Combat Challenge team. He's from Altus, and he's a firefighter for 26 years.
That's really incredible. When you told me that, I was like, oh man, we have to talk about this story. Thank you so much.
Excited.
That is very impressive. But going ahead and looking at our evening planner for tonight across the state, we're looking at 71 at 7 p.m. So if you're getting out, it will be nice. Remember, those winds, though, are coming out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting over 20 at times, partly cloudy skies. And then 10 p.m. and 12 a.m., we're looking at upper 60s. So it's going to be very, very nice if you want to get out.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you so much, Sawyer.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College.